What's going on, people? Simply Recommended here. I'm here today doing a live video on how I would do Batman vs Superman in the movie. First thing I would do is not put that skinny looking like Miley Cyrus Wonder Woman Gal Gadot in it. I feel that Warner Brothers are washing it because of Marvel, but hopefully you guys won't be disappointed and you guys will still enjoy. Okay, firstly, in this movie we're gonna start off with the media, and they're gonna show us vintages on the world's opinion of the new Man of Steel Superman from the first film. And many people are saying that he's a menace, he's too powerful, he could destroy the world. And then you show Metropolis being constructed, being rebuilt from the last battle between Zod and Superman. And then we see Lex Luthor, who is the benefactor of Metropolis. He's helping Metropolis being rebuilt, and the public are seeing him as like a savior of Metropolis, and Superman is the demon like of the world and Metropolis. And then Lex Luthor is in the media, and people are asking him what did they think of Superman. And Lex Luthor says, I think he brings hope, but deep inside, you know, this man killed his own parents, so you know he's got a plan for Superman and to take over Metropolis. So he's just being, you know, phony and just saying, you know, yeah, I think Superman's good for the world, and the world leaders need to, you know, take the fact that Superman is the guy to be our hero and our champion. Now you got Clark Kent and Lois Lane, who show up at the Daily Planet, and they discuss Superman's negativity on the public and the speaking to the public. But at the same time, we then see Lex Luthor in the towers, where we see him looking through where the building where between Superman and Zod were fighting, and Lex Luthor spots Zod's armory and keeps it for, you know, a mantle, which he is fascinated by, and he lets his scientists experiment with it, see how he can duplicate it to be powerful enough to maybe even face Superman and even destroy him. We then get word that something's in Morocco where he has to go and that he'll be interested in. So Lex Luthor goes to Morocco. Now we then head to the Batcave, where we see Bruce Wayne, and he's working on like a robot suit and strategizing on Superman. We go back to Clark and Lois, where they're doing a live video showing Superman talking to the media, talking to the world, and explaining his intentions and him apologizing what happened to Metropolis, and that if the situation was to ever occur, he would divert the fight somewhere else where less or nobody will ever get hurt again. The world watches this live event of Superman and Lois Lane having this interview, and then Perry White, played by Lawrence Fishburne, is pleased with this, but the public's perception of Superman is very, you know, frail. They think he's a menace, he's too powerful, he's godlike being. They want him to go somewhere else and leave Earth alone. We then head back to Morocco, where we see Lex, and he finds this glowing rock, which came from Zod's ship. He picks it up, he takes it, and then out of the mist he gets a call from Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne then says, hey, I'm going to attend Metropolis. I heard that you were doing like a banquet, a ball, a charity ball, and that all the proceeds will help Metropolis from the last destruction what happened. Lex says, yeah, sure, come through, and you know, you can be a guest, and you know, let's help Metropolis. So he clicks the phone, goes back, gets the green rock, which is obviously kryptonite. He heads back home to Metropolis. So we head back to Metropolis, where Lois and Clark arrive at the banquet and meet many famous people, including Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne arrives. All the women are swooming over him, wooing around the guy. You know, Bruce Wayne is a ladies' man. We know that he's rich, he's a bachelor, and Clark doesn't necessarily know who Bruce Wayne is. So he asks Lois, so who's the playboy? You know, and Lois tells him that, yeah, this is Bruce Wayne, you know, billionaire, he's from Gotham City. And Clark says, oh, the city with the bat, you know, I'd like this guy, because Batman came first before Superman. Lois says that, you know, yeah, that's they got the menace there with Batman. So Bruce and Lex Luthor, they meet up. Bruce generously gives a few millions to help rebuild Metropolis, and then, you know, Lex comes in and says, thank you all for coming in. Let's give proceeds to Metropolis to help rebuild. And he also has a public announcement where, you know, he found this rock that even he calls kryptonite. And then you see Lex meets Lois Lane, where they discuss about, you know, thanking him about doing shit with Metropolis. And then he meets Clark, and he speaks to Clark, and they talk about Superman. And Lex is still adamant about Superman, saying that, yeah, you know, this guy he's good for the community, he's good for the world, we need a guy like this, you know. And Clark and Lois are like, hey, thanks for the support of the guy, you know, I think the guy's cool. Now Bruce now meets Clark Kent and Lois, and Bruce and Lois have a little history. So he goes up to Lois Lane and kisses her on the cheek, you know, and Clark is like, well, wait a minute, like, this is my girl, now what are we doing? And Lois explained that, you know, hey, we had a past before you. And Bruce is like, oh, hey, I didn't know, no hard feelings, you know. And Clark was like, alright, no problem, let's bury the hatchet. They shake hands, and then Clark, you know, being a little bit insecure, he grabs Bruce Wayne's hand, and then, you know, almost like holds it real tight and almost like breaks it. Bruce Wayne is like, damn, man, where you get your strength from, man? I'll buy your strength, but, you know, it's nothing personal. You know, I see a beautiful woman, you know, I can't help myself. Clark then says, oh, sorry for nearly hurting your hand, you know, maybe it's a call with the weights, you know. So okay, Lex makes another announcement before he leaves. He says, hey, thanks to guests, and then also says, you know, hey, come and idolize and see the kryptonite. And he said that his scientist wants to examine it and see what, you know, what they can find about Krypton and the kryptonite. And then all of a sudden, Clark reacts to the kryptonite, and both Lois Lane and Bruce sees Clark's reaction, and it's like, man, what's going on? You okay? You look ill. But Clark doesn't know that he's weakened to kryptonite. And then at the same time, Lex is on the move. He's saying he's got business deals to do You know, he's a self-made man, he's a self-made billionaire. So, you know, he says goodbyes to certain people. Good night and thank you for coming. And he tells the guests to stay while he goes, and you know, so they can enjoy and raise more money for funds. And then, you know, Clark then says, I'll go outside, maybe I just need a bit of fresh air. And then you got Bruce and Lois, you know, who are still talking and, you know, saying, you know, hey, this Superman, like, what do you think of this guy? Is he with it? Is he real about it? Is he here to help, or is he a menace? And Lois says, yeah, listen, I met the guy, he's a good guy. Hopefully he won't be here to hurt us or nothing like that. Yeah, we then go to Lex and we see Lex leaving. And you know, Lex is a maniac, he's crazy. So what he does is he's got certain androids to ruin the party and to make like big publicity about the banquet. And you know, as he's doing good, the android can come that he made, that his scientists made, and you know, just crash the party, and also probably get Superman's attention if he could. So Lex leaves, and then we head back to Lois and Bruce, and Bruce is kind of flirting with Lois Lane. You know, he's the playboy. And then, you know, then cuts again to Superman, and he said, and then Bruce says, you know, the guy's got a lot of power. You know, Blue Boy's got a lot of power. So, you know, if anything, is there anything extraordinary about him that, you know, makes him so special? You know, Laura's been drinking a little bit, makes a big mistake, a very big mistake, and she says, you know, he gets his powers from the sun. Bruce is intrigued by that and be like, okay, I see. Then all of a sudden, an explosion hits, and the mansion is threatened, and 3 androids comes and starts to shoot up everything, and members of the Daily Planet are there, taking pictures and whatnot. And then Clark hears this, goes somewhere to change into Superman, and then Bruce sees this, tells Lois to hide, go cover for shelter, and then you know, I'm gonna call the police, where he goes and changes into Batman. And then Superman comes and then fights the androids, but with the kryptonite in the vicinity, he's kind of weakened, and he's not at full strength, and he's kind of getting beaten by the androids. And then Batman appears, and then they fight. He helps Superman somewhat and saves the, you know, members of the public. And while the you know, the members of the Daily Planet are taking pictures and both defeat the androids, you know, Superman goes and tries to thank Batman, and then Batman starts fighting Superman. Superman doesn't really want to hurt Batman and tells him, you know, that he's on like their side, he's here just to help, he doesn't want any problems, you know. And Batman tells Superman that you killed thousands of people, you even killed your own species, how can I believe you, how can the people believe you? And then Superman and Batman have their first blow, and Batman's giving him a little bit of a beat down, but Superman is still, you know, affected by the kryptonite that's in the room, but he doesn't know that he's affected by the kryptonite. So he blows. Now you see a new power from Superman, which you didn't see in the first film. He got the blowing breath thing, so he blows Batman away, and then he flies away, and then everybody leaves the scene, and then Batman even realizes that Superman wasn't 100%. Then he looks at the kryptonite, and then he disappears. And then Superman then, changes into Clark. Clark calls Lois and then sees if she's alright. She says yes, and then all of a sudden she gets a call from Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne asks if she's alright, and then he said, and then he's still in the vicinity, Batman I'm talking about, and he's looking for clues, and he's looking at the androids, and he's taking pictures, and even this is Detective Batman. This is very different from the Nolan films, Michael Keaton films, even those trash films like George Clooney. So this is a very detective Batman. This is the world's greatest detective Batman we're seeing in this movie. So he's looking at clues and whatnot, take some pictures so he can take back to Gotham City, find out where they came from and whatnot. And then Bruce Wayne hears sirens that Metropolis finest are coming. He goes, he flees the scene, and then the next day Bruce Wayne goes to the Daily Planet and see Lois Lane and Clark to see if they were okay from the incident which happened yesterday. Lois says that she's okay, and Bruce asks where's Clark. She says that Clark's out on an assignment, and then also during his detective work he found Clark Kent's glasses, so he gives the glasses to Lois Lane and then leaves and says he's going back to Gotham. He tries to woo as well, hey, maybe one time I'll try and come back and we'll get back together and we see each other. And Lois is like, hey, I'm committed, I'm with Clark, saying a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So alright, whatever. He says tell Clark, hey, no hard feelings, and I'll see you when I see you. So he dips out the Daily Planet. Before leaving Metropolis, he goes and visits Lex, just to say farewell, have like a farewell dinner. And then Bruce says, when he gets there, he gets to LexCorp, and he says, good thing you got out there before the mayhem happened to Lex. And Lex says, hey, I want to see what happened. The guy's got CCTV footage of the charity ball that we had. Why don't you join me and see where these androids came from? Which is he made a critical mistake, because he doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Bruce says okay, so he joins him, and while watching the CCTV, Bruce notices that how Clark is very similar affected the way Superman was affected in the room because of the kryptonite. And Lex then asks Bruce Wayne, I wonder why Batman was in Metropolis. And he said, well, hey, maybe you got two guardian angels, one with Superman and the second with Batman. That's a joke. And then Lex then says, hey, why don't you join me in seeing the kryptonite? And Bruce says, yeah, okay, let me check it out a little bit. And then they go check out the kryptonite. While Lex's back is turned, Bruce slyly takes out a little knife, cuts little pieces of the kryptonite. He wants to investigate about the rock, and see how what kind of surroundings and what kind of poisons and gases it may concern, and how the the Kryptons lived. And so he takes a little piece of the kryptonite for research, and then Bruce and Lex go back to finish their meal. Bruce says, "Hey, thanks for the hospitality," and says, I'm going back to Gotham City." And then they say their goodbyes and whatnot, and then Lex also, he's an intelligent man. I don't know if he's as intelligent as Bruce Wayne, but that's another debate for another day. But then, looking at the CCTV footage, he believes that Superman was weakened by the kryptonite. And then he asked the scientists to put the fragments in a robot that they're building into the android, and the robots and the androids that he's making. Just a precaution for Superman in case the guy goes rogue. So then we shoot back to the Daily Planet, and Clark and Lois reunite once again, and Lois gives Clark his glasses, and she tells him that it was brought back by Bruce Wayne. Clark says, "Okay, if you know that Bruce Wayne's number, give it to me so I can say thank you, and hopefully one day we can have a meeting and a little one-to-one interview." So she says, "Alright, cool." So Lois Lane don't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and Clark doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman either. So we head back to Gotham City. Bruce Wayne, he's in the Batcave, and he's strategizing. He's plotting. He's scheming on ways on how to defeat Superman, because he thinks he's a menace. And then all of a sudden, Bruce then remembers that he's just got a hunch. Why is Superman weakened? Like the guy that destroyed Metropolis and took down Zod, and how comes he was weakened? And he also remembers why Clark was weakened. So, being that the detective that Bruce Wayne is, he took the handkerchief that he had Clark's glasses in and examines it for fingerprints, and then he even gets his suit, the bat suit, and examines the fingerprints of both the glasses and the bat suit from the battle. And then, being at the Daily Planet, then all of a sudden he looks at the computer, and the computer says, hey, it's a perfect match. Clark Kent and Superman have the same fingerprints. Bruce is shocked. Hey, oh my God, Clark Kent is Superman. And now he knows the identity of Superman, so he presumes that maybe even Lois Lane is in danger. So he's got to go back to Metropolis and save her, because they got a little history. You see what I'm saying? And then Alfred comes in. Alfred walks in now and says, "Master Bruce, Clark Kent's on the phone." He's like, "What? How the hell did he get my number?" So he plays along, and he answers, and he says, "Hello, this is Bruce talking." Clark says, "Hey, Bruce, thanks for bringing back my glasses. Bruce says, "No problem. I'm sure we'll meet again real soon." Clark then apologizes, almost crushing his hand, and then Bruce clutches his fist and say, "No worries, maybe I need to work out more and get my strength back." And then Bruce puts the phone down and gets back to work, because he knows what's up. So we head back to the Daily Planet. We got Perry White from before, because this is like a little prequel here of why Clark wasn't at the Daily Planet when Bruce Wayne was out and about. So, you know, Perry White tells Clark that he's waiting to receive an interview with Lex Luthor at LexCorp. So Clark says, alright, cool, I'm gonna head to LexCorp. Lois, meet up with me later. So Clark heads to LexCorp. Lex gives him a tour of the organization, and then all of a sudden Clark hears interesting things because he's got super hearing. So he does his whole X-ray vision thing. Looks in, looks down in the basement and whatnot, and then he sees a laboratory. He sees models of the robots which attacked, the guests at the charity ball, which attacked him, Batman, and everybody else. He's like, what the hell is this? What's Lex doing? So he says, excuse me, Lex, do you have a little bathroom I can use? And he goes, sure, it's just down the hall right there. Clark then steps aside and he calls Lois. She gives Lois the scoop when she gets here to snoop around and take pictures, because he's telling them that he found, remember the guys, the androids that came to destroy the ball? It's all Lex. Lex has been building this stuff. So she shows and says, I'm on my way. And then then we get the, as I say, the prequel between Bruce and Lois Lane giving the glasses. So then okay, we head back to LexCorp, where Clark is now with Lex, and he's still giving the tour of LexCorp. About 15 minutes later, Lois Lane gets into the vicinities to also have her interview with Lex, and then remembering what Clark said to the guy, she says, hey, can I quickly use your bathroom? And he goes, yeah, sure, it's around the corner of the building. She says, okay, cool. She goes around, goes downstairs to the laboratory, and she's caught by she's doing the pictures and taking pictures and whatnot, and then she's then found by the security then detains her and covers her mouth so that she can't scream, because obviously Superman's got great hearing, otherwise he would have heard her and saved her. And then while Lex and Clark are waiting for Lois, they're in the foyer of the LexCorp, and there's a big monitor, and all of a sudden Batman is on screen. He shows up and he says, hey Superman, meet me at the shore of Metropolis, otherwise I'm going to reveal your secret, your true identity to the world, Mr. Kal-El. And then Superman is shocked and like, oh crap, this guy knows who I am, he knows my identity, I gotta go. Clark, not taking any chances, Clark even leaves Lois, who's now kidnapped, and he says, Lex, you gotta excuse me and please tell Lois Lane what's going on, because I gotta go and take pictures and get the scoop on Batman. It's the showdown of the century, Batman versus Superman. And Lex says, of course, go right away. And while leaving Lois Lane, he doesn't even think twice about Lois Lane. He's got to go. Lex says, okay, I understand. As soon as Miss Lane comes from the bathroom, I'll tell her right away, and so she can meet you. He goes, oh, thanks a lot. Clark dips out, quick, gone. leaves immediately, and then Lex gets a call. You know, this is all coincidence. Lex gets a call from the security and says that Lois Lane's been snooping around, and the security, and we got her in custody. And she knows that the androids belong to him. Lex says, "Okay, good work," and goes to meet with Lois Lane. We then go to Clark Kent, who turns into Superman and flies to the shore of Metropolis to go confront Batman. And then out of the sky, Batman, in an iron robotic suit which he's been building since he's seen the destruction of Metropolis. And the robotic suit's even got like kryptonite pieces in it. And then he comes out from the Batwing. So he drops down, boom. Superman still doesn't know that he's weakened by kryptonite. And Batman says to Superman, "Hey, it doesn't take much, does it?" And it's, "What are you talking about? Haven't you noticed how this kryptonite weakens you, Clark?" And then Superman is like, "Jesus Christ, this guy's gonna kill me. This guy he doesn't know that, you know, I'm here to help the guy." And then Bruce is like, where's Lois Lane? What have you done with her?" And then they start fighting, and I have to say that this is even at night. The sun has gone down, and it's completely blacked out. He's got his the Batwing, and he's got his what's it called, the Bat car. And this is now where Batman, you see Superman in his weakened state. He's getting pummeled by Batman is destroying him. And then we return back to LexCorp. Lex meets Lois Lane. He asks, you know, "Why did you try and kill us, you know, all in the, you know, at the mansion at the charity ball? Are you mad?" You know, and Lex says, "You know, I have to lock you here since you know my intentions." And then she asks, you know, where's Clark? Why isn't Clark here to save me? And Lex tells Lois that, you know, he went to go see the match of the century. You know, Batman is facing Superman. And you know, if I have to, you know, this is actually beneficial, because then even Lex is even saying, "Hey, I might have to even kill you and say that you were killed in a car crash while you were trying to leave and see Superman face Batman." And then she screams. Superman hears the scream, and then, you know, he tells Batman, while Batman's pummeling Superman, "Listen, I know your source of power. I know you get your strength from the sun, you know." And then while they're fighting each other, Superman's like, because he doesn't know who Batman is, so he takes a peek through the mask. He uses X-ray vision to see who the man is behind the mask, and he finds out it's Bruce Wayne. And he's shocked, and they still continue to fight. And then Clark Kent reveals that, "Hey Bruce, I know it's you. I just heard Lois Lane, she's in trouble. Lex has captured her." Batman doesn't believe him. And then they still continue to fight while Batman is pummeling Superman at his weakened state. Superman says, "Listen, call Lois on her phone. See if she even picks up." Now Lex has made a little mistake. Lex didn't know that, Lois Lane still has her phone with her. Lois Lane quickly picks it up, screams, and says, "Help!" Lex sees this, security sees this, takes the phone, smashes it. The line disconnects. Batman then believes Superman. Superman says, "I can't save her. I'm weakened. I need sunlight to get my strength back. I'm too weak." Batman then calls the Batwing. The Batwing then takes Superman back to the Batcave, where he can get his strength back, because Batman has a solar energy kind of machine. Because he, as I said, Lois made a bit of a mistake. She was drunk a little bit from the party, so they get the pass from the sun. So maybe he wanted to examine Superman. So he gets the Batwing. Batwing takes him back to Gotham City, back to the Batcave. Batman then takes the Batmobile to LexCorp, and then we see Batman speeding through Metropolis, get to LexCorp, beats down Lex Luthor's henchman, beats down the security, and goes and finds Lois. And then he's confronted by the androids. And then Lex is up on top, looking real boss, and tells the androids to destroy Batman. And then Batman has to battle with the androids that was there. He even fought at the ball, the charity ball. Batman's getting his ass whooped, handed to him. It's like 10-on-1. We return to the Batcave, and then Superman is trying to get healed as fast as possible. Alfred is there trying to help Superman, giving him like solar energy, like a solar machine, where he's getting his strength back, from being weakened from the kryptonite. And then he absorbs as much as he can as possible, says thank you to Alfred and whatnot, flies off to Lois Lane, and Batman flies off, gets to LexCorp, beats down the androids, saves both Batman and Lois. Batman then asks, where Lex Luthor is. Lex Luthor comes up in his own armor suit with the kryptonite. I mean, kryptonite plays a big factor in this film, I'm telling you, because without it, boy, Superman would just be godlike, But we need a story to where how Superman's gonna get out of this mess. So yeah, Lex is in an armored suit with the kryptonite, and then fights both Batman and Superman. He's got like rockets and fiery weapons, and it's an epic fight. Then we see Batman and Superman destroy the suit. Batman and Superman are now allies. Then Batman says, hey, I'm still watching you, I still don't know your intentions, I don't trust you yet, but thanks for, he doesn't say thanks, but you know how Batman is, saying, I'll be watching you still. And then we see Lex. No, actually we return to the Batcave, and then Superman then flies off with Lois Lane. Actually, I'm gonna change it. Batman then, flees off. He doesn't go to the Batcave, he flees off. And then, police, Metropolis Finest comes through and tells, the police that, look, this guy was making the androids. he was he nearly cost everyone their lives, and then he says that how he and Batman saved Lois Lane, and then even Superman even destroys the suit and whatnot. But as this is getting recorded, there's protests going on. Like the public still sees Superman as a threat to the world, to Metropolis, and then the people of Metropolis are saying, hey, free Lex. He's one of us. He's our savior. He's trying, like, Superman's just gone rogue. He's trying to, this guy is a humanitarian. He's helping Metropolis. He's Mother Teresa in the people's eyes. You know what I mean? So then time flies and whatnot. Lex stands trial. He's pleaded not guilty. He's acquitted. Lois and Clark are in the court. They're shocked that Lex is gone scot-free because he committed a crime, big crime. And then